Many forms of government have been tried, and will be tried in this world of sin and woe. No one pretends that democracy is perfect or all-wise. Indeed, it has been said that democracy is the worst form of government except for all those other forms that have been tried from time to time. UK Imperial Prime Minister Sir Winston S. Churchill, the 11th of November 1947. Unit 2. Mimicry as Simulacra Power Without Depth. Week 5. Charisma as Interface. Readings: Weber, TED Talks. Assignment: Midterm Prompt. Lecture: Week 5. Charisma as Interface. Unit 2. Mimicry as Simulacra Power Without Depth. Introduction. We begin Unit 2 by transitioning from observing surface-level communication, Unit 1, to analyzing power that emerges from surface-alone power without depth, structure, or interiority. This week focuses on charisma as an interface, a symbolic, often performative trait that gives speakers authority, trust, and influence by virtue of how they are perceived, not necessarily what they know. Drawing on Max Weber's theory of charismatic authority and analyzing modern examples, especially TED Talks, we examine how speakers encode confidence, aesthetic fluency, and emotional resonance into performances that generate legitimacy in the eyes of others. In an era of short attention spans, charisma has become an essential communication interface, not a reflection of interior truth, but a social technology of persuasion. Key concepts. Charisma, Weberian definition, a form of authority derived from the perception of extraordinary personal qualities. Interface, the surface through which humans engage and assign value to other systems, technologies, or people. Aesthetic fluency, the ability to navigate, perform, and adapt to culturally legible forms of emotional or intellectual presence. Lecture content. Max Weber describes charisma as a break from traditional or legal rational authority. It is the authority of the prophet, the revolutionary, the visionary leader whose power comes not from rules or institutions, but from the belief in their specialness. In today's context, charisma often functions like a user interface, a visual, auditory, and gestural presentation layer through which audiences engage with ideas. It is not what lies behind the presentation that matters, but how well the performance simulates depth, inspires belief, and encodes aesthetic authority. TED Talks are exemplary modern performances of charisma. Presenters are coached to use open gestures, slow vocal pacing, metaphor-laden stories, and emotional vulnerability. The idea being conveyed often matters less than how it is conveyed. As students of mass communication, you must ask, is charisma the authentic spark of leadership or a systematized aesthetic? If we can design charisma, does it still carry meaning? Socratic style. Questions for class discussion. First one. Have you ever been moved by a speaker, only to realize later that the content was shallow? What made the performance feel meaningful in the moment? 2. Can charisma be taught, or is it inherently spontaneous? If taught, does it lose its legitimacy? 3. Should we be suspicious of charisma in public life? Why, or why not? 4. What role does visual presentation play in how we assign authority to a speaker? 5. How might charisma function differently in a text-based medium like social media or AI chat? Assignment prompt. Midterm project. Midterm title: Designing the Interface. Choose a figure, real or fictional, known for their charismatic authority. Deconstruct the performative strategies used. Gestures, language, rhythm, framing, background design, audience engagement. Analyze how charisma was constructed and how it functioned as an interface to convey power. Create a short video, 2-3 minutes, or illustrated storyboard that mimics the charismatic performance using your own voice or design. Submit with a 500-word written reflection linking the performance to course readings. Do. Week 7. Visual aids for lecture. Suggested. Clips from selected TED Talks, for example, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Simon Sinek. A comparison chart. Weberian authority types: charismatic, traditional, legal, rational. Interface metaphors. Comparing GUI, graphical user interface, to rhetorical performance. Closing thought. If charisma is an interface, then authority in the modern world is a matter of design. Understanding the tools of that design allows us to build new voices, decode influence, and perhaps invent new forms of democratic engagement, not based on depth, but on performative resonance. The question remains, what are the ethical stakes of this design? The lecture for Unit 2, Week 5, Charisma as Interface is complete. It explores charisma as a performative interface using Weberian theory and TED Talks, with Socratic prompts and a midterm project assignment.